Hi guys, we've got a lot on tap tonight. Before we get started, I want to put up one little thing here. I'd like to get your all's feedback on this and see who's interested in it, if anybody. I'm considering, if we can sell some of these spots, doing a 4-case break of Totally Certified, which I see I have a typo. I put total without the Y. Well, whatever. You know what I mean. Totally Certified Basketball as a fixed price break. Free shipping would obviously break when all the teams are sold, and if we got most of them sold with just a few little laggards, I would probably just put those on eBay or just go on without them being sold or something like that. But I'm trying to gauge interest in that, and since we are breaking Prism basketball tonight, I thought it would be a good time to see how many of you are interested in doing a big break like that with 4 cases being done at once. So if you're interested, please do let me know, either by way of eBay messages or jump into chat or something like that. In the meantime, tonight, what we have going on is a lot, actually. We're going to open an autographed football jersey first. That's a 2017 Game Day Greats. That will be followed by a half case of Prism basketball, and then that'll be followed by a full case of Optic football. So lots on tap tonight. I see Lowe's Cell has jumped into chat there. Hi, Lowe's. How are you? Just kind of letting everybody know, if you're watching live and you hear me interacting with someone in chat and you cannot see the chat, I think you have to be logged in to see it. I think that's the deal. So if you're not logged into YouTube, that would be why if you don't see it. So first thing up, one box of 2017 Game Day Greats autographed football jersey. This is break number 1. I've had these for a while, but I kind of waited until after the holidays to go back into some of the one-box breaks to avoid some of the trouble of, sometimes people who don't read and bid, and you know how that goes. So our eBay end date was tonight, the 28th. Our live stream schedule also tonight, the 28th. You'll see team names on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right. There are several things in this particular break that say no bids buyback, and if anything were to come out for one of those teams, it would just hang out here with me since no one gave it a forever home. Otherwise, if it comes out for one of you, well, it'll be out the door and on the way to you before you know it. So that's what we're looking at in this first break. Of course, that spreadsheet will go up before each and every break. And while I'm thinking about it, guys, I am still battling the gift that keeps on giving, which is the wonderful mega cold that my sister brought home with her at Christmas. So I will apologize in advance. I will probably have to take some breaks to step away and sneeze or blow my nose or something. And obviously I've got the raspy voice and the coughing and whatnot, and I apologize in advance. I am trying like heck to get over this thing, but I haven't made it yet. Oh, Emerald, you are not an NBA fan? Oh, man, well, I'm sorry to hear that. But you have the Redskins in Optic coming up? Well, that's cool. Oh, and Lowe's, you're in Eastern Kentucky. Yeah, my sister actually came in from Pittsburgh, so she brought this little lovely gift all the way from Pittsburgh and left it for me. Well, we're off to a good start tonight because you know who that is. For my Pittsburgh Steelers, how about a little Jack Ham? I love my little Pittsburgh Steelers. And what a sweet hit here. There's your JSA authentication. Let's take a look at that signature. It's on the nice little Bumblebee jersey, which is kind of a love it or hate it, right? Like, yeah, there's not a lot of in-between thoughts about that Bumblebee jersey. But either way, that's what Mr. Jack Ham has signed for us. And this hit for the jersey headed out the door to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think that puts us off to a good start tonight, because you know how I feel about the Steelers, and I think anytime we start out with a good Steelers hit, we're going to have a good night. That's how I'm thinking of it anyway. And next up, let me get us back. Let me get myself back over to the right page, and then I'm going to bring you along with me, because we're going to head right into Prism basketball. And if you jumped in late, guys, we're doing Prism basketball first, and then that will be followed by the Optic football. It's a half case of Prism, basketball, and a full case of Optic football. So this is a 6-box break, 2017-18 Panini Prizm Basketball. It is break number 3, third time we have busted into this one. And once again, our eBay end date was tonight, the 28th. Our live stream schedule also tonight. And team names on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. This is actually a sealed case, so you know what that means. Well, some of you know what that means. I think we might have a couple of new bidders tonight that haven't bid with me before, and welcome to you guys, of course. But here's what happens when we're doing a partial case, but yet it's the first of a case. So in other words, it's still sealed up to this point. Let me pick it up first. So what happens is this. I take out all of the boxes that are in this case. In this case, in this instance, that's going to be 12 boxes. We're going to open half of them tonight, but we're not going to leave anything. We're not going to do anything that isn't transparent. So what happens is all 12 boxes come out. I'm going to number all 12 of those boxes on the end, and then we will let random.org choose for us which 6 boxes we open tonight versus which 6 boxes we'll be opening sometime next week when we finish this case up. I think I'm going to have to, good grief. Okay, I think that camera is like shaking and it's like an earthquake because I'm having trouble getting this out of the case there. So I felt like I was giving you motion sickness to a certain extent. So I just picked it up off the table. We're going to do one more thing, and that is you're going to see the focus change because I take it off of autofocus once we start doing the cards. And the background does go out of focus, but that's all right because it puts the foreground in a much closer focus, and we don't have all the zooming in and out that you get when you have autofocus on. That just bugs me. I like to just be able to look at the cards without having all that associated drama of, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, when you're breaking with somebody and they move the card in and out and in and out and in and out, trying to get the camera autofocus to pick it up so you can look at it up closer, that just makes me crazy. So that's why I do it this way. All right, so there's all 12 of our boxes are nice and numbered. Now we're going to buzz over here to random, and basically, I'm just going to type in 1 through 12. The first 6 numbers that come up after I hit random, or sort, or whatever it says, randomize down there, will be the 6 that we open tonight. So that's going to give us 10, 9, 1, 7, 6, and 12. So that's 1, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, right? Yeah, 1, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12. All right, so now I got to get them all out of here. All right, there's our 1, our 6, and our 7. And then when I said 9, 10, 12, right? There was no 11, I think is what it was. I think that's right, 9, 10, 12. Okay. And now why, when I must have had some of these boxes in front of the camera when I changed the focus, and then it gives it that weird color kind of saturation issue. So now maybe it will switch back, I hope. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of weird. I usually have to move everything off the table, or at least everything up close out of the way before I take it off of autofocus, or it does some kind of strange stuff. I don't know what it is. Oh, Emerald City, you did not have, that wasn't your jersey in that break, I see. Well, I'm sorry about that, man. Well, I do have a bunch more of those. I just don't have them up and listed yet. But sometime next week, I'll get back into a lot of that stuff that we were doing back in November and kind of stopped doing around the time of Black Friday. So there'll be jerseys and helmets and all kinds of other stuff coming up there. And the TriStar jersey, Jay Clark, that already broke. That was the very first thing that was up. It was Jack Ham for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 1988 grad. The optic break will be as soon as we get through this prism. And I don't know exactly how long Prism will take, so it's hard for me to tell you exactly what time Optic would start, but I would say that you would have at least 30 minutes, maybe 45. There's not a ton of cards in here, but enough that it'll take us a few minutes. But you definitely have time to go do some things if that's what you want to do. And Brennan is asking me if I'm going to do Upper Deck Legends of Life. Right now, I don't have plans to do that, Brennan. And that could always change. But at this moment in time, I don't have plans for that. And Terry Harp, Optic break will be as soon as we finish Prism. And Jay Clark says he won, I'm assuming the jersey then. You had the Steelers. That's awesome. And Merry Christmas to you too, Terry Harp. And 88 Grad says you'll check back shortly and you're looking for a McCaffrey auto. Well, we'll see what we can do for you on that one. We'll try our best to conjure it up. And now we are ready to look through box number 1 here of Prism Basketball. You guys know there are tons and tons of cards in here, mostly base. There'll be obviously a certain number of refractors and inserts, but we're going to cut a pretty good little clip through most of this, and we'll stop and look at things that are more interesting. There's a John Collins Emergent refractor, which is actually, Panini calls refractors Prism, right? Hence the name of the product. But I still always want to just call them refractors. It's a hard habit for me to break. So you're probably going to hear me going back and forth between the two. More than likely. John Collins for the Hawks. That is our first autograph hit out. And then we've got a refractor here for Rondé Hollis Jefferson, an emergent refractor for De'Aaron Fox. You see some coaches go by. There's a whole series of cards in here that are just our coaches. A Zach Collins emergent insert, a Gallinari refractor, a Lance Thomas refractor. So basically, you guys know which ones are the refractors, right? They're the ones where you see the pretty little rainbow of colors when it hits when the light hits it. So probably I'll just wear you and my voice out if I say that every single time. So if you have a question about one that goes by and you want to know, hey, was that a refractor? Let me know and I will be happy to fill you in. Otherwise, we'll kind of keep on keeping on. And periodically, guys, you're going to see me pick up the ones we've looked at. I'm going to move them off to the right. There's a mat over there as well, so everything stays on a mat. But that is my sorting area, and I like to keep my workspace free after we look at cards, so that's why I move them off. This little Blake Griffin to 99 in the cracked ice parallel. A little Billy Donovan. Oh, excellent, Jay Clark. That is fantastic that you got that you had the Steelers spot. I'm a huge Steelers fan, so that jersey pull made me very happy for sure. And Lowe's, yeah, I know that Panini calls them prisms, but as I said, I'm in the habit of calling them refractors. Topps calls them refractors. I've been in the habit over the years of just calling them refractors. And I try to remember to switch it over and say Prism when we're doing Panini, but most of the time I don't. And I will say refractor. So that's why I was kind of warning you that that's going to happen, and it's interchangeable. So sometimes I may say refractor, and sometimes I may say Prism if I catch myself, but it's the same thing either way. So DJ Wilson for the Bucks is our second autograph hit out of that box, and we're only supposed to have 2 autographs per box, so that is our second expected one from this box. And I don't know if anybody, maybe if anyone jumped in late and didn't hear me talking about this earlier, but I'm trying to put together a 4-case break of Totally Certified. This is Jason Smith to 99 for the Washington Wizards. And it would be a fixed price kind of break where each team has a set price. rather than a kind of end where it ends thing, since 4 cases represents a pretty significant investment in terms of what it cost me to buy them. And is that Michael Carter Williams numbered? I guess it is not. So if you're interested in that, I had it up on the spreadsheet earlier. If you weren't tuned in, you might not have seen it. I can pop it up again if anyone's interested. And if no one shows any interest, we'll just go back to breaking them, you know, 1 case at a time or something like that, which is not as interesting to me. But if that's what everybody wants to do, then there you go. Bam Adebayo to 199 for the Heat. And also, guys, keep in mind that tomorrow brings us 2 big product releases. One of them is Absolute Basketball. That is to 199 for the Hawks. That's the coach of the Hawks. And the other one is a little Contenders football. So both of those coming out tomorrow. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think we're breaking them both tomorrow night. I think. Oh, Jay, well, thank you for bidding with me, man, and breaking with me. I appreciate that. It's very nice to have some kind words. Most of the people that break with me are awesome people, like 99.9%. And, but you know, the ones that are the most vocal are typically the 0.1% who are unhappy about something. So sometimes it seems like you get slammed a lot by people when really it's just that it's a tiny, tiny number of people. They're just super, super aggressive. Whereas the nice people like you guys, I appreciate hearing the kind words is what I'm saying. Makes me feel good. It's been, it's a lot of fun for me. I enjoy breaking. I collect cards myself, so it's a blast for me to do and to participate in when I buy into other people's breaks, and I always look forward to it. So it's not like a work or job thing for me. It's fun. Now, when I lose tons of money, it's, you know, less fun than when I can at least break even. But fortunately, you know, that doesn't happen all the time. Happened a lot in November and the early part of December, but I think we might be back on track now. Derek White for the Spurs is our first autograph hit out of this box. And, of course, once again, you know, we're looking for 2 autographs per box, so we still have 1 more to find along the way. Nice little Dennis Smith Jr. Emergent insert, and my screen's trying to go to sleep over there. Donovan Mitchell refractor for the Jazz. Got some good rookies this year, and so far I think they have been performing about to expectations. Of course, we've already had some injuries. Obviously, Markel's been out most of the season with his shoulder, but I think we'll be back in the regular rotation pretty soon. And De'Aaron Fox got hurt the other day, and seems like it's been the year for good rookies because we've had them in all the sports, in baseball, basketball, and football, but also a year where we've had a lot of injuries in all of our sports. That is Moutier to 199 for the Nuggets. I do think it kind of goes in waves, though. I definitely think we have certain years where all the sports seem to do really well with rookies and other years where they just don't. It's kind of odd, but it does seem to cycle that way. Sabonis to 199 for the Pacers. Well, if I could get the sleeve open, that might be helpful in terms of putting the card inside of it, right? One would think. That was a Dave Johnson for the Kings, or Dave, what did I say Johnson? Dave Yorker for the Kings is a refractor. I got all distracted here looking at Nene to 99 on that parallel. Sometimes I start talking about one thing and I'm looking at another and I get myself all messed up in my head. The wrong thing comes out. Okafor for the 76ers, numbered to 75. So, Absolute Basketball, I don't know how much you guys have looked at the new configuration, but since it's coming out tomorrow, we can talk about it for a minute. I think basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, each one of our Absolute boxes is they're kind of taking a page out of the Topps playbook in that it's going to have a master box with 2 mini boxes inside, I believe. And then inside each of the mini boxes, in addition, we'll find our autographs and materials hits like we normally would. But the other thing that's going to be in there will be an uncirculated slabbed card, which basically, slabbed just means in a one-touch. And one of the uncirculated cards should be a veteran, and the other one should be a rookie. So it's going to be interesting to see how that flows. And that's, I think, what we're going to be looking at, in addition to, of course, it's still going to have the case hit with the glass redemption cards and all that kind of stuff. Onuaku, it's a nice little hit there for the Rockets. And I forget what that pattern name is called. Of course, this is numbered to 25. You can see that down there in that bottom corner. And I cannot remember that pattern. I was going to say Mojo, but I don't really think that's right. But maybe Mojo. I am absolutely the worst at remembering all of the pattern names, like terrible. And then the ones I do remember, like Cracked Ice, then I carry them over into Topps, which of course at Topps that same pattern is an atomic refractor, and I'm forever and a day calling it Cracked Ice. So there you go. What are you going to do? It's the hazard of mixing and matching sports and companies, right? Oh, I was right. It is Mojo. Well, how about that? I actually remembered one, got one right. 99% of the time I call the patterns the wrong name because I just have a mental block about remembering all those pattern names. It's terrible. But they're all the same, right? I mean, the ones that Topps uses and the ones that Panini uses, they're the same patterns. They just call them different things at each company, and that's why when you break a lot of stuff from both, it becomes hard to remember which one goes to which thing. At least it does for me. Maybe I'm just feeble, I don't know. But I have a hard time with it. So the back half of this prism, we will probably break at some point next week. Maybe about this time next week. Somewhere in there, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere in that range of the upcoming week, we'll do the back half of this case. In between now and then, we'll do several cases of Absolute Basketball. We'll do a bunch of Contenders football. We'll do some more Optic football. Some more Bowman's Best baseball. And we're going to get started back with some of our other stuff too, like a regular rotation of our autographed jerseys and helmets and autographed balls and some of our one-box breaks and mixers and all that fun stuff too. So we're going to get back into the fun stuff, in other words. Not that this isn't fun, because it is, but you know what I mean. Donovan Mitchell to 99. Nice hit for the Jazz. Lonzo Ball is just a base rookie. Elfrid Payton. And who have we here? Lance Thomas. These don't bow up as much as in some years. You're probably, if you've been around Prism for the last few years, what did Prism come out? 2012, I think, was the first year that it came out. There's a little Mojo refractor to 25 for the Thunder with Terrence Ferguson. So the early years of Prism with Panini, as soon as you would take the cards out of the pack and the compression was gone, they would like immediately kind of bow up in the middle because of whatever they put on the paper that makes it refract also causes that. And over the years, it has gotten better as we go along, and this year's probably the best yet. These have a little bit of bowing, but very, very little. These lay almost flat after they come out of the pack. So that is an improvement for sure. Malcolm Brogdon, number 2, 199 for the Bucks. Who do you have tonight, Low Cell? Who are your teams in here? I am horrible about matching up people's YouTube usernames and their eBay usernames with each other and or with their real names. So sometimes you guys have to refresh my memory about which teams you have. Oh, you've got the Heat. All right. So Bam Adebayo's down there. He used to play for my Kentucky Wildcats. I love Bam. I think he's going to be really good down there. I mean, obviously he's young. He's got a lot still to learn. He can still do some growing, but I think he's going to be good down there. It's a good fit for him. A little Popovich for the Spurs, numbered to 199. Oh yeah, that's right. You are a UK fan, right? Being Eastern Kentucky, I think you said. So tomorrow, what are we going to do if basketball is not finished by the time we get to the football game? Surely it will be, though. Of course, can't go to either one live to be able to watch them both. Frank Jackson for the Pelicans is our first autograph hit out of this box. Unless, I guess, if you went, I guess we could have gone to the football game and then watched the basketball game like in an establishment down there and gone live to the football game. I guess that's a possibility. Fundamentals refractor there for Mr. Kobe Bryant. Yeah, you never know what our football team's going to do, honestly. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they are not. So Lakers are on the board here, but I suspect it's not who you wanted. We pulled for you Julius Randle, and I'm sure you wanted Lonzo or Kyle Kuzma, but we got a ways to go yet, and at least we have pulled something for you. And I don't know why Julius Randle autographs are showing up so much this year, but they really are. In all the products, all of a sudden, there have been a lot more Julius Randle autographs than I remember seeing in any year other than his rookie year. You know, it's just weird, just kind of weird. It makes me feel like that they're just kind of going through what they have left over, right? Like they've got stickers for these people and they're just like, yeah, we need to get rid of those this year. Let's just put everybody in everything. Patrick Beverly to 75 for the Clippers. Because really, they had some kind of interesting people in some of the other things, too. In Donruss basketball and hoops, both. There were some people in there that was kind of, you know, weird, a little. Oh, the game 20, you went to Camelsville College. You know what? My mom is from Camelsville. My grandparents lived there for years and years and years. My grandparents are both deceased now. My grandmother just died back in September. She was 99. My grandfather died many years ago. But yeah, I've spent some time in Camelsville for sure. I still have relatives down there. So that is pretty cool that you're down in the Ville. And Nick, you're in Lexington. That's cool. You are experiencing the same freezing temperatures that I am then. In the game you played for Camelsville College in 86-87. So I mean, definitely my grandparents and some of my other relatives were living down there, but I didn't have any relatives that would have been in college or anything at that time. But Parrott is the family name on for those grandparents. And, of course, there's a bunch of Parrotts in Campbellsville as well, as, you know, that are extended family. Any Kings hits? Yai Punch, I do not remember seeing any Kings autographs. I don't think so. Now, as far as refractors or numbered stuff, that I'm not sure. But we will definitely recap our autograph hits at the end of this break before we start Optic. Taurean Prince for the Hawks. Because I know people jump in and out, and sometimes you're catching it later. And in that case, you're probably just fast forwarding right to the recap. I mean, I do that for sure. When I'm watching other people's breaks on delay, I definitely have been known to fast forward if I know they recap. So try to make it easy for everybody. Shipping on the stuff that we're opening tonight, my expectation is that it will go out to you on Saturday. If for some reason it doesn't all get out the door on Saturday, which is always a possibility, excuse me, the rest of it wouldn't be able to go until Tuesday, because you got to remember Monday being New Year's Day, no mail service. That's still $1.99 for the Blazers with CJ McCollum. So I feel like I can get it out on Saturday. I'm hopeful that I can get it all out on Saturday, and that's what I'm shooting for. Yogi Ferrell for the Mavericks. The little unexpected rookie sensation from last year, right? Like nobody was thinking Yogi Ferrell at the beginning of the year, for sure. And so far, still waiting for the big boom. Like I want us to get a huge hit out of this case. I feel like we're going to somewhere along the way, be it this half or the next. I feel like we're going to hit something big. There's another nice Donovan Mitchell for the Jazz. So a few little parallels coming out for him so far. And so I take it you guys are not feeling it for doing a 4-case break of Totally Certified. Am I right about that? Do I want to not do that because it's not interesting to you guys? That's to $199 on the Earl Watson, for, excuse me, for the Suns. I mean, I can go back and just do them a case at a time. It's just more fun for me if we do them like all at once. Yeah, Mitchell has been playing very well for sure. And oh, Lowe's, you like Malik Monk. I do too. And you would be interested in the Hornets in the 4-case break. All right, cool. I will write you next to the Hornets later after the break, and then we'll see how many spots we can get sold, and if it looks like I can get the majority of it sold, then we'll go to the invoicing stage. Dwayne Bacon to $99 for the Hornets. Did you see Lowe's that they sent Malik Monk and one of the other rookies down to the G League for a couple of days because they say they want to get them more playing time? I mean, they just sent them down for a couple of days and I guess bringing them right back up. But he hasn't been getting as much time as I thought he would get, honestly. I think he's just having the usual rookie struggles, I guess. That is numbered to 49, Terrence Ferguson for the Thunder. And again, apologies. Those of you who missed it earlier, I'm still fighting off this cold that my sister brought home and gave me at Christmas. And so, unfortunately, there's a little sniffing and snorting and coughing and whatnot. That is to 75 on the Kyle Lowry for the Raptors. And I am trying to keep it to a minimum because I know it's annoying. It annoys me too, but sometimes, yeah, it's going to happen. The Mavericks, I don't remember exactly what price I had on them. I had it all on that spreadsheet. I'll have to bring it up. If you hang around right after we finish Prism and before we start Optic, I will flip back over to that page that shows the fixed prices for each of the teams. But I definitely tried to do, I basically took what we had been getting per team on average, or what I had been getting per team on average in the one case breaks, and then multiplied that out is essentially what I did. So nothing should be out of line with what it would be if you just were in 4 individual case breaks. Sometimes I made it a little bit less because it would be easier for me to ship them all at once, you know. Yeah, so I'll definitely put that back up after we look through Prism and before we start Optic, and because I don't remember what price I had on the Mavericks, to be honest. Because I kind of sat down with a calculator and tried to figure out what my break-even point would be, and that's basically what I'm trying to hit, is just the break-even for that one by the time you pay the fees and the postage and all that, because obviously I'm not going to charge, postage everything individually for those breaks. So, we will definitely put that back up there and take a look at everything. Lakers out again. Still not the player you want. You have Thomas Bryant this time. And honestly, I know you're probably looking for Lonzo if you have the Lakers, but I've been saying all season, I really think long-term that Kuzma may be the one you're going to want. Not that Lonzo's not going to do well. I think he's going to do okay, but I think Kuzma has maybe a little bit more upside than Lonzo at this point in time. That's kind of how I felt at the beginning of the season, and nothing's really changed my mind on that yet. It's a little bit like the Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott situation in football last year. Like everybody was buying the Cowboys early in the year in the breaks because they wanted Zeke, and you got Dak, and you were just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I got Dak. And then once he started, it was like, oh, no, all right, I got a lot of extra value hanging out here. I think that's how it is with Kuzma. Allen Iverson for the Sixers. There's one you don't pull too often. A little blast from the past, making the Sixers happy. Jeremy Grant to 49 for the Thunder. Yeah, Iverson, wasn't he in that big 3? Isn't he in that? Ah, shoot. He's in that big 3 league, isn't he? And didn't he, like, not show up for a game when he was supposed to be coaching and playing? Or did I just dream that? I think that happened. Mike Muscala to 99 for the Hawks. Hawks have gotten a lot of color tonight, it seems like. Yeah, I can't really get into that big 3 too much. I don't know, something, it just doesn't really ring my chimes, so to speak. It's not my thing, really. I would like to get into it, but I'm just not. Zizic, now this is one where I need to kind of point this out, because you see he's in a Celtics uniform, right? But the card says Cavaliers, so it's going to go to the Cavs. And we're going to see some cards like that occasionally as we go through here. And those are players that have been traded or whatever after they were photographed in one uniform and the cards were already produced. So what happens is they are still seen in their old uniform, but they're going to go to the team name that's designated on the card. So sometimes if you see a card go by and you see a player and you see your uniform and you haven't paid attention to the name, you might think it's coming your way, and then when you don't get it, you're going to wonder where it is. That's what's going on. That's to 199, another blast from the past for the Magic. Little Jason Tatum emergent insert went by. Tobias Harris to 199 for the Pistons. Yeah, other than that Jason Tatum emergent that just went by, I don't know what other, I mean, there's like some base rookie like this one, but I don't think we've had any other Tatum inserts anyway that I'm remembering. Nicholas Batum for the Hornets to 75. Oh, and first in the series. You know how much I love that. First in the series and last in the series. Always make me happy. Absolutely no relevant reason why. They're all the same. If there's only 75, it shouldn't matter if it's 1 of 75 or 75 of 75, but yet somehow it does. Josh, I cannot do this guy's name together. Josh Jackson. There is something about saying Josh and Jackson together that I simply cannot do unless I slow way down like that. It comes out all garbled every time. I have some kind of a mental block with it. What the heck? Well, you guys, now see, look at that. You guys are already calling that you've had bad luck. We still have another box to go. We can still hit what you're looking for. You can't give up until the last of it's opened. In fact, last night I was opening Optic and someone said, you know, we were on our same situation. We were getting ready to look at our last box out of the 12. And somebody said, man, I can't believe there was no, it was Kareem Hunt and I forget who he was looking for. 3 people. I think it was Deshaun Watson, Kareem Hunt, and maybe Alvin Kamara for the Saints. And he said, man, I can't believe we didn't get any of those. And I've watched a bunch of case breaks today. I've watched like 6 other case breaks today. And none of those players were in any of those cases. And now they're not in this either. I was like, well, you know, we got one more to open here. And sure enough, right there hiding in that last box, we had a nice little Kareem Hunt redemption. So, I'm just saying, you can't give up until it's all over. Till the last cards come out, it could still be your night. That's the way I look at it. Oh, Nick, you had a buddy pull De'Aaron Fox to 25 from Prism. That's nice. I'd like to have had that myself. I have no team allegiance in basketball because I follow all of the former UK players. So I follow lots and lots of different teams in basketball. So I tend to just buy where our players are. Nice little Andrew Wiggins for the T-Wolves. That's one you don't pull out every day either. So nice little hit for the Wolves. Aaron Gordon, Magic to 49. Yeah, it's always, it's so fickle. I will grant you, it's very hard. And I've suffered through the same thing before where I watch breaks and it seems like the breaks I get outbid on, then whatever team I wanted does like awesome. And then I'll finally win one, and then the one I win, the team will pull nothing, and I'm just, I've had the same thing happen to me, for sure. But then usually somewhere down the road, it evens out, and I'll pull some monster hit out of something, and then I forget about all the pain of the other, and I'm happy again. That's to 199 for the Pacers. Wow, he sold a Kuzma, just a base refractor, for $187. That is crazy. I mean, good. That's good, but that's crazy. Little Miles Turner insert there for the Pacers. Another Lonzo base rookie. Of course, the refractors, the rookie refractors out of Prism always do very well in basketball. More so even than in football. It's definitely a basketball, one of the favorite basketball products. Draymond Green, numbered to 99. Of course, I always liked Gold Standard, and they're apparently not producing it this year. They're lumping it into Chronicles basketball, which will have a whole bunch of different brands in it, including Gold Standard. Damian Dotson for the Knicks is our second autograph hit out of this box. So, I think that was both of our autographs out of here, right? Yeah. Yeah, Kuzma, that's because he's been playing very well. So, I'm still surprised that just the base refractor went that high. I mean, that does seem incredibly high. But, so much the better, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Got to be able to make a little money on some things to keep doing it. That is Moutier to 199 for the Nuggets. Unless you're like me, and then you just buy them to hold, you know, to collect them, keep them. And I sell a few things here and there, but I keep a lot of my stuff, so. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't love Duke either. It's hard to be a Duke fan when you're a Kentucky fan, but I do agree with you that Jason Tatum is a very good player, even though he did come from Duke, and I do hate to have to say that, but it's true. It really is. There's a little Harry Giles to 75 for the Kings. And we are winding down on this one. And, of course, whoops, put that in the wrong spot. And, of course, we will recap our hits at the end of the break. I'm also going to put up that spreadsheet again because we have been discussing some of the pricing for the fixed teams. If I can get it all sold out for the 4-case totally certified break, I would love to break all that as one giant 4-case break because I think it would be a lot of fun. I like doing big breaks like that if I can make it work. All right, so guys, let's do this first. Let me get us back on the right page. So this is what the pricing looks like for the 4-case totally certified. And you see I have the typo. Maybe I should just go fix that typo, and then I would just feel better about things because I hosed it up originally. Oh, and then I made it a capital. What an idiot. I'm having a night. All right, let's try that again. So that is the per team fixed price that I'm looking at. It would include the shipping, of course. And yeah, so basically those are the teams. That's the pricing. If I can get enough interest in it, then yeah, that's what we would do. 4 cases, 32 boxes. So 8-box cases, 4 of those to be 32 boxes. 4 sealed 8-box cases. So that is what I'm looking at. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. And if we sell enough spots, then that's the route we'll go. And if there's not a lot of interest in that, then I will go back to just doing the 8-box cases and just do 1 at a time. So either way, we can do it. And someone is asking me about sleeving the Donovan Mitchell. Did I not already? put that in a sleeve. If I didn't, I certainly will. I put a lot of stuff in sleeves as we went, and I did set another stack of stuff off to my right to put in sleeves later, just to not slow us down incredibly, but yeah, basically, I for sure can do that. So let's recap this real quickly, and we'll go back to our optic spreadsheet. I'm just going to do a quick run through the color, and it's, you know, I try to stack all the color out separately. Occasionally, I might forget and have one stacked in that other spot to the right. So if you saw some color go through earlier that you don't see in this recap, not to worry. You are still going to get it, of course. It just means that I probably did something super stupid and stacked it in the wrong place, because that happens. Especially when I'm on cold medication, right? I mean, like, you never know what's going to happen. Then our autograph hits out of this break for the Knicks. Damian Dotson, that one is a refractor. Andrew Wiggins for the T-Wolves. Allen Iverson for the Sixers. Thomas Bryant, Lakers refractor. Yogi Ferrell for the Mavericks. Taurean Prince for the Hawks. Julius Randle, Lakers. Frank Jackson for NOLA. Onuaku, when the Mojo parallel, numbered to 25. Derek White for the Spurs. And DJ Wilson for the Bucks. And then we wrap it up with John Collins for the Hawks, also a refractor. So those are our hits out of this half case of Prism. All right, Lowe's, you would take Miami and Charlotte. Michael is interested in the Hawks, and then you guys want to see that one more time. So let me get that other spreadsheet back up. Hang on one hot second, and I will switch us back to that view. All right, so Miami and Charlotte. That would be, and I would ask you, if you would, to send me a message on eBay as well, because as I said, I don't always remember to match up your YouTube username and your eBay username. So if you could do that, I would appreciate it. And Michael said he would be interested in the Hawks. And right now, I'm not really invoicing you guys until I see if we can generate enough interest to get this rolling. And of course, since we're breaking basketball this weekend with Absolute and the other stuff, I'm hoping maybe we could get it sold through, but we'll see how it goes. All right, and then the Mavericks, you would be interested in the Mavericks, all right? So, yeah, so if you guys that I have added to the spreadsheet here for the Mavericks and the Hornets and the Hawks and the Heat, please just shoot me a quick little message by way of eBay so I can match you up. And then as soon as I get a few more spots sold, we'll start invoicing. And once again, guys, that is a 32 box, 4 cases. So that is, they come in 8 box inner cases, 16 box master cases. So 4 inner cases, 2 master cases, 32 boxes, no matter how you cut it. So that is what we're looking at. And let me switch us back over to Optic. And basketball, folks, if you guys are getting ready to take off, which you probably are, you're probably not hanging out for Optic. Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the Optic folks, too. But I'll say thank you again to them at the end of their break as well. But I always appreciate everyone bidding with me, breaking with me, chatting with me, and all that stuff. As I said, I love doing breaks. It's a lot of fun for me. So I'm always happy to do it and glad when you guys participate. And I see that Chessie Maddie would be interested in the Jazz. Let me switch back over here to that. And I'm just kind of making some notes here so that I can keep track of it all. And Chessie, if you could do the same thing and just shoot me a message by way of eBay so I can match it up, that would be fantastic. Because once I have that, then basically I can get your email address and I could send you PayPal money requests for the team, and that's kind of how we'll handle that stuff. So this is 12 boxes of 2017 Optic Football. This is a full case break. It is break number 4. Our eBay end date was tonight, the 28th. Our live stream schedule also tonight, Thursday, 12/28 at 9:30 Eastern. Team names are on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. We had one unsold team in here, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. So any cards that come out for the Falcons will hang out here with me and join their brothers on Card Mountain. I am happy to report, for those of you who have been breaking with me for a long time, you know how large Card Mountain had gotten. I got some of Card Mountain sorted. I know you guys are proud that I got some of it done. Like, I still have a lot to do, but I got some done. I got like 95% of the baseball done. I have done none of the football and none of the basketball. So I still have like probably, oh my goodness, a week's worth of sorting to do. But hey, I got all the baseball done. So I'm going to count that as a victory. I really am. All right, guys. So this is Optic Football that we are getting ready to start on, coming out of the case here. There's 12 boxes in here. Each box is guaranteed to have, well, I should back that up. Each box has 2 autographs on average. Panini says on average because sometimes they replace one of our autograph hits with a Panini Rewards Point card. So on average, we have 2 autograph hits per box. In reality, we'll also have a couple of boxes in here, usually a couple per case that are hot boxes, which will give us a couple of extra autographs in those boxes. So we usually have a little bit more than they tell us we're going to have. So that's the good news. The bad news is, saw how nice and easy Prism was, right? Just a few little packs, a decent number of cards per pack, 12 cards per pack, 12 packs per box. So quick and easy to get them out of there. Yeah, Optic, 4 cards a pack and 20 packs you have to open in every box. So it takes forever just to get everything out of the wrappers. That's one of my huge pet peeves with Panini, when they do these silly little 4-card packs. And of course, they're just trying to keep the price affordable and all that stuff. And I said 2 autographs a box a minute ago, didn't I? I'm still thinking Prism. I misspoke there, guys. It's 1 autograph per box in Optic, and then we will find some boxes with more than 1 autograph when we have our hot box. So I apologize for that. I'm still stuck in Prism, but you can actually see here on the, you can see on the box itself, 1 autograph per box, and I just wasn't thinking. I said 2, but that's not right. But of course they do all these zillion packs because they want people who have retail stores, hobby shops, to be able to have a lower per pack cost on this product. But for goodness sakes, I would just rather pay a higher price and have less packs to open, honestly. And they still charge you a lot. Like, I think my hobby shop charged like $6.50 a pack or something for this. It was a lot. More than I kind of thought it should be, anyway. But then again, he does take a lot of risk because he brings in pretty much all the products, and sometimes they sell and sometimes they don't. So I guess you got to make your money where you can. LaShawn McCoy, that is numbered to, do I have it upside down? Yes, I do. Numbered to 299 for the Buffalo Bills. We're going to find a bazillion of those advertising cards, like so many. And here's what's going to happen. We're just going to throw them in a big pile, but they have codes on them. I'm sure you saw that. Some of it is for 18% off at the NFL shop. Some of them are for if you want to enter your kid in that Panini Kid Reporter thing. So if you want one of those codes, let me know, because I have a huge, huge stack of those cards. And we will find 1,000,001 more as we go along here. And like basketball, you're going to find there's a bunch of refractors in here. This is one, for example. Anytime you see them with that rainbow of colors, you know you're looking at a refractor. Rather than call each one of those out and make you guys sick of hearing me do that, I will just leave them be, and we'll talk about the ones that are numbered. And I keep turning that upside down. That is numbered to 149, also for the Buffalo Bills, with Tre'Davious White. And if you ever have a question about if something is a refractor or not, just ask and I'll be happy to show it to you again, or we can look at it a second time or whatever to make sure that we're all on the same page with it. Curtis Samuel to 150. Nice little rated rookie on-card auto hit for the Panthers, who I know were looking for a hit, but they were looking for Christian McCaffrey, which, hey, we may still find him, but so far we have Curtis Samuel for you. So at least you know you're not going home empty-handed. Oh, boy. We got a little 101 coming. Let me get... and if you guys want a one-touch case for this card or any other card that you pull with me, all you have to do is let me know. You shoot me a little message on eBay. It's always just at my cost for the case and the PayPal fees. It usually ends up being around $3 a card, or a case, I mean, unless it's a weird size or something. So we will, since he's a 1 of 1, we will go ahead and slide him in there now and take a little extra time to look at the pretty Jameis Winston 1 of 1 for the Bucks. And I really wish that had been one of our rookies. Pull a nice little 1 of 1. I would have rather it been one of our rookies, but hey, we still hit 1 of 1, so it's all good. That is numbered to 99, Mike Wallace for the Ravens. And what did I do with that? I can't remember where I put the pile of the advertising cards. I was throwing them in a pile somewhere, and then I lost the pile. I don't know where I put it. I'm just going to toss them in the floor. We'll pick them up later. Adam Shaheen, numbered to 299 for the Bears. Some more advertising cards. Juju Smith-Schuster for my Pittsburgh Steelers on that nice little rated rookie insert. J.J. Swat, numbered to 99 on that insert for the Texans, which is the AKA insert. That's the players with their nicknames, of course. I'm sure everybody's opened enough Optic by now that you guys all know that already, but just in case somebody didn't, that's what that insert series is. Michael Thomas for the Saints to 199. Another little ad card. I told you there's a lot of them. I was not kidding. There are so many. There is still more Optic football to come. I think I have another break of this already listed, maybe for next week. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure there's another break of it already listed. And definitely I've already got other breaks listed for Contenders football, which comes out tomorrow. And you know that's always a fun one. And they always say 5 or 6 autographs in all their literature per box. So, like, why did they not just decide? Why was it not either 6 per box or 5 per box? But no, it says 5 or 6 autographs per box. That seems weird to me. But that's how they have it. So, and of course, like every other Panini product, with the little asterisk that says on average. Somewhere in all this tonight, we should also find one card that is a fabric swatch as well as an autograph. Usually come up with one of those per case. See how much longer it takes to get like almost the same number of cards out of the box? I mean, there's hardly any extra cards per box. A few, but not many, than what we had in the Prism basketball. But this takes twice as long to open because of so many flippin' packs you gotta open. But oh well. Doesn't do me any good to complain about it because they're not gonna change it. CJ Beathard is not gonna get his starting job back. Once he got injured and they put in Jimmy Garoppolo, CJ Beathard is gonna be riding the pine. That is to 149 for Mike Wallace for the Ravens. And like we all kind of thought, right, that Garoppolo would be good when he finally got a chance to run a team, but I'm not sure that I thought, or that I knew anyway, that he was going to be as good as he has been playing. A little beast mode for the Raiders. Because you think about, he's not had very much time to pick up that playbook and learn that. And, I mean, he just came out of the gate gunning. And he has not stopped. He is crazy good right now. Considering. I mean, not like, you know what I mean. Considering the circumstances, I think he's playing exceedingly well. And, yeah, I don't think CJ Beathard's getting that job back. Phillip Rivers to 99 for the Chargers. If you weren't tuned in and you didn't hear me say it earlier, I am hoping that everything we're looking at tonight is going to ship out of here on Saturday. It is possible that some things will not get out the door on Saturday. And if that's the case, they can't go until Tuesday. That's to 149 Jarvis Landry for the Dolphins. And that, of course, just to remind you, no mail on Monday because of New Year's Day. Everybody's sleeping in after being hungover. Numbered 250, there's your Christian McCaffrey that you asked for, Panthers. And not only did you hit it to 50. And not only did you hit Christian McCaffrey, the hit out of the last box was also for the Panthers with Curtis Samuel. So ask and you shall receive on the Panthers, right? I mean, that's kind of like a Christmas list for Santa. He came in and said what he wanted, and we found it. So that's always a good thing. Aaron Rodgers for the Pack to 299. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze right now because I don't want to have to stop in the middle and walk away and go do that. But, whew, you know how if you don't sneeze sometimes and it backs up in your head? Do you know what I mean when I say a sneeze backs up in your head? Oh, that is what's happening right now. It is not pleasant. Trubisky insert numbered to 99. For the Bears. We pulled that out of a case last night, numbered to 5, as a matter of fact. That Trubisky, Mr. Biscuit. Oh, 1988 grad, you have been in 21 case breaks, and that's your first McCaffrey? See, I'm your good luck charm. You should always bid with me. Yeah, that's what that means. Only bid with me. Yeah, that is a lot. To do 21 cases and not have hit a McCaffrey, that's a lot of cases. I am glad that we could pull one for you tonight, and it's numbered to 50, so even better. Oh, it's your second. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It's your second McCaffrey auto out of 21 cases. So it's not the only one. So you should bid with me and the other person who got you one. And tell everybody else no. Yeah, just us. Well, I'm glad that I could find it for you tonight. I've actually got a Christian McCaffrey signed Panthers jersey that I keep meaning to sell, and I forget to list it. I've had it sitting in there since the start of the season. I keep forgetting about it, and I definitely meant to list it before Christmas, and yeah, I didn't. I got a bunch of signed memorabilia in there for all kinds of sports that I kind of intended to get listed, but oh well. I've also got a bunch of movies. I got a lot of movies and television shows that I want to get rid of. But that'll take forever to list all those. But at some point soon, you'll probably start seeing some auctions come up for me in other categories as well. And when that happens, if you want to sort through the clutter, of course, just go to View Sellers Other Auctions and then break it down by category. And then you can avoid all the extraneous stuff when I do finally get the movies and TV shows and stuff listed. Well, we are getting there, slowly but surely. All right, this is, what, is this our third box? Does that sound right? Yeah, I think so. This is box number 3 that we're working on right now. First out, Vikings, numbered to 35 with a little Stacy Coley. Meanwhile, the Vikings are going, I wanted Dalvin Cook. I know you did. But, hey, maybe this will be like Curtis Samuel was for the Panthers, just the precursor. Maybe we'll still find you Dalvin Cook. Let's hope so, anyway. Oops, I meant to set that Brad Kaya aside because he's a refractor. And this might be one of our hot boxes that we're getting ready to roll in here. And this is Chad Kelly, numbered to, what does that say? Did I turn it upside down again? Of course I did. Numbered to 50 for the Broncos. So we are hotboxing it right now. 2 autos so far out of this one. We should most likely find one more. Andy Dalton to 299. And why I keep forever and a day turning them the wrong way, I don't know. Amara Darbaugh. You know, I pulled him a lot at the first of the season, and then not as much towards the end of the season. That is numbered to 99. But you know, I've got some Origins kind of burning a hole in my pocket, so to speak. It's not a whole case. It's loose boxes. I don't even know how many. There's a handful sitting on the table here serving as background, but there's some more floating around here somewhere. That's the $2.99 on the Larry Fitzgerald. So we'll start doing some Origins breaks again as 1 or 2 box breaks, or we'll mix them in with some other stuff and do a general mixer or something. But that is a good chance to find Kamara and Fournette and McCaffrey, and a lot of those guys are pretty prevalent in Origins. Kareem Hunt is in there a lot. Mr. A.J. Green to 149 for the Bengals. I like Origins. It's Origins in football and Inception in baseball are both a lot of fun to open, I think. That's numbered to 149 for the Bills, LaShawn McCoy. Malachi Dupree, there's a nice one for the Packers. What's that number to? 150. Pack on the board with Dupree. The little kitten has wandered up here. If you've done a break with me in the last couple months, you know that I have this little stray kitten that I found outside, all sick and hungry and skinny and messed up. And of course, I'm such a sucker. I brought him in and got him well and been feeding him and trying to find him a home, and I can't. And he's just a crazy person. And he just walked up here. He's probably going to jump in all those wrappers in a minute. So just beware. That is number 225 on the DeMarcus Walker for the Broncos. So our hot box was pretty good to us as a whole. Nice little Mitch Trubisky rated rookie refractor that went by there. And I am going to step away for a half a second because I need to blow my nose. All right, thank you for that little pause. That way at least you don't have to listen to me sniffling, right? So it was to your benefit as well. So I'm pretty stoked about getting into contenders. I like contenders for obvious reasons. I mean, it's the highlight almost, and I guess, well, yeah, it's pretty close to the highlight of the year for me. Because I always like the card design. It's got a good number of hits per box. By the time they put it out, they usually know who the good rookies are going to be, so there's typically a pretty good ratio of the, what I would call hot rookies. Always look forward to contenders. In fact, aside from the cases that I bought, which will be, of course, breaking in half case quantities just because of the amount of cards per break, I also bought some loose boxes that I figure I'll probably open some of them myself, most likely, and then I'll put others in mixers. But I don't usually do that. I don't usually buy extra loose boxes. But I did this time. Because I want to get in there. I like all my Steelers rookies this year, and I want to see what I can find. Of course, really, I guess if I think about it another way, I should probably take the same amount of money I paid for the box and buy myself into... I probably couldn't buy that many breaks. I could probably buy maybe 2 breaks with the box cost if somebody was breaking in half cases. But that would give me 12 boxes worth of chances to pull Steelers. So, maybe I won't open one myself. Maybe I'll just use them in mixers and then I'll buy into some breaks for my Steelers. That might be the plan. I don't know. I got to think about it. Russell Wilson for the Seahawks to 299. Hi, Jordan. How are you? You know who the jersey was? Oh, man. It was for my Pittsburgh Steelers. It was Jack Ham. That was an excellent way to start my night. Seeing the little Jack Ham jersey come out. Nice little Kareem Hunt there. And Jordan, I've got a bunch more of those. And I've really got to start getting them listed again. So you're going to start seeing those pop up several per week again. And and it's not just those. I have other brands of autographed jerseys as well. So all that stuff I got to start getting cycled back in on a regular basis. That's till $1.99 on the Matt Stafford. But I was pretty stoked to see Jack Ham come out of there. I really was. Steelers legend. Little Gale Sayers for the Bears to 149. And I did not know that his nickname was the Kansas Comet. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. I must have been absent that day because I do not remember that. Joe Flacco to 25 for the Ravens. So you weren't feeling Optic tonight, Jordan? Are you just not breaking Optic in general? Is it not your thing? I like the rated rookies in here, so I kind of like Optic. This is almost like not a thing you should probably say out loud, but I almost like Optic better than Prism in football. I really do. And nice little Alvin Kamara rated rookie refractor for the Saints. I think Optics overall pretty... Oh, did I call that earlier or what? Here comes Dalvin Cook to 99. That is so funny. When we hit the Curtis Samuel, I called the Christian McCaffrey after it. When we hit the Stacy Coley, I said, oh, it's going to be like it was for the Panthers. We're going to find your Dalvin Cook. And by golly, there it is. And to 99. That is so sweet. So, yeah, Vikings are happy. Panthers are happy. And we got to make some other teams happy here as we go along, including the Chiefs and the Saints. And, well, there's a lot of them. We got to make a lot more teams happy yet. Buda Baker to 199 for the AZ Cardinals. I can't believe we really pulled that, right? I mean, that's so awesome. We're going to set this aside. We're going to probably find a few more of those illusions that have two different teams on them. We may have already had another one with two different teams on it that I foolishly stacked off to the sorting mat. But I try to set them off. And what happens with those, of course, some of them we have the same team in both spots, both in the rookie and the veteran spot. And other ones, like the one we just looked at, it's one team for the rookie and it's a different team for the veteran. And in those cases, we let random.org decide which position will get the card, whether it'll go to the rookie position or the veteran position. So we will do that at the end of the break when we do our little housekeeping. Terry Harp is putting it out there that they are looking for the Packers. So I don't know if that's Terry male or Terry female. I'm thinking maybe Terry male because it ends in a Y. And Terry female usually ends in an I. But I'm not 100% sure. So that's why I just said they're looking instead of he is looking or she is looking. Anyway, you're trying to find the Packers. So let's see if we can find you a Packer. Didn't we hit a nice little Malachi Dupree for you earlier? We did, didn't we? Yeah, I mean that was, so we're on the board for you already. You're just looking for some more Packer love, right? Oh, you're looking for Aaron Rodgers specifically. That's a tough pull. That is a tough one. But maybe we can find one for you. You never know. Stranger things have happened. Looking at some pre-orders today, and this actually came out a week or so ago, and I just didn't have time to look at it between the holidays and then my sister getting me sick. I finally had a chance to look at some of the pre-orders upcoming. And for Select Football this year, they are putting those XRC redemptions back in them. That's the good news. But the bad news is that instead of one per box, like it was last year, it is only going to be 3 per case this year. So I thought that was kind of stingy, but there you go. That's to $199 on the Pirine rated rookie refractor. Because I mean, I liked the XRCs. I personally collected a bunch of the XRCs and bought some on eBay because I wanted them. Fans of the game, Dick Vitale, you will see that that has a team designation on it of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's where that's going to go. Every once in a while, we'll find one of those that doesn't have a team designation on it, and if that's the case, it would be given out by way of random. But when there is a team designation on it, it's going to be given to the team that is shown. This is to 149, DeMarco Murray for the Titans. Jordan Willis refractor. Brian Hoyer to 299 for the 49ers. Loads and loads and loads of advertising cards. So many. Jamal Adams for the Jets to 99. And yes, I do cough the right way into my elbow. I do not cough on my hands, for those of you who might be worrying about that. I do not cough on my hands. My mom is definitely a cough into the elbow kind of mom. Chris Godwin to 149 for the Bucks. In fact, she got after my sister, who's 50-something years old. She got after my sister over the holidays because my sister coughed once without, coughed and covered up with her hands. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" Deonta Foreman for the Texans to 75. And I know you'd rather have Deshaun Watson, but you are on the board, so maybe it's going to work for you like it has for the Panthers and the, well, why'd I go blank? Who was our other team that it worked for? The Panthers and the Vikings. That's it. Cooper Kupp, rated rookie refractor, just went by there. Marlon Mack to 149 for the Colts. Actually, let's put Cooper into a sleeve right now, too. Some of those, obviously, I put in sleeves after the break, and some I do while we go along. That's to 99 on the Malik McDowell. Usually, if it's color, we do it while we're rolling through, and if it's not numbered, some of them we'll go back through and do later. All right, another box in the completed column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when we finish this box that I'm cutting into right now, we'll be at our halfway point in Optic. Man, I'm going to be afraid to see my heat bill. I just heard the furnace kick on again. I mean, it is cold outside. Okay, there's no doubt. It's maybe 10 degrees or something. It's super cold. But my furnace has been on. I mean, it just seems like all day long. I know it hasn't. Definitely cycles on and off. But man, I am going to be afraid to see my heat bill. And it seems like we didn't really have a lot of in-between weather this year. I mean, we had kind of mild, good, decent weather, and then just all of a sudden it got cold. And when it got cold, it wasn't like, oh, it gets down to the 50s, and then the 40s, and then the 30s, and then the 20s, and so on and so forth. It goes from 60 to the mid-30s to the teens. It's just, it doesn't feel like there's much in between. I guess there was, but it doesn't seem like it. I mean, I still had plants alive as of a couple days ago. I'm sure they're dead now, but plants that normally would have gone back a little sooner, still hanging in until we hit this absurd weather. Did you say it is minus 32 degrees, Terry? Holy mackerel, where are you, man? Minus 32, you can't even go out of your house, can you? Like, I would not. I would stay in my house and I would not leave. That's to 149. This is another one that we'll have to put over there to deal with in random because, as you see, two different teams on there. I mean, minus 32 is crazy cold. North Dakota. I didn't even know it got to be that cold in North Dakota. Oh, man, that is terrible. I'm sorry for you, buddy. That is not good. That would make me very unhappy. I don't think I'd be able to stay there for very long. Marlon Mack to 299 for the Colts. I'm not much of a cold weather fan to begin with. I really strongly prefer warm weather, and frankly, I'd be happy if it never really got below, say, 50. That's to 149, the Jordan Reed. Except for maybe, you know, like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, it'd be fine if it wanted to snow and be cold those couple days and then be not that way the rest of the year. I'd be okay with that. But for the most part, no. I prefer warmer weather. So I'm pretty sure I couldn't live anywhere where it is minus 32 degrees in December. Nice little Alvin Kamara. It's not numbered or anything, but it's a nice little insert anyway, and it does refract, so. Of course, I saw, oh, what is the name? What is the name of that old town? Erie, I think. Erie, Pennsylvania. My sister lives just outside of Pittsburgh. She lives in 84, Pennsylvania. And she travels to Erie some. This is to 199 for the Panthers. So that's why sometimes I notice when Erie's weather is in the news. And I saw the other day they had some, I mean, obscene amount of snow that they just got. I'm feet, several feet of snow, like 3 or 4 feet in Erie, Pennsylvania in just a matter of a few days. And I will tell you, we're used to snow here in Kentucky, of course. A little bit of snow is not going to shut us down, but that much snow would shut us down. We would just be, our city services, everybody, we'd just be like, oh, no, you're done for like a week till we dig everybody out. That's to 25, Sidney Jones for the Eagles. But it's funny, it's also relative, because you look at some place like Atlanta, who obviously very seldom gets snow, being that they're much farther south. T.Y. Hilton to 99. So Atlanta can get an inch of snow and the city shuts down. In fact, that happened not too long ago. UPS canceled pickups and FedEx canceled pickups and the airport's all messed up. This is number to 10. Nice hit for the Eagles with Mac Hollins and the low number hit to 10. So an inch of snow can shut down Atlanta. It probably takes a foot of snow to shut down Kentucky. And I guess where you are in North Dakota, it would probably take a couple of feet. That is also numbered to 10. Mike Williams, Gridiron Kings insert for the Chargers. So I guess it's all just what you're used to at the end of the day. So far, guys, I think we've had a pretty good case. I've been fairly pleased with what we have pulled up to this point. I'd like to find, of course, like a Fournette and a Trubisky and a Hunt and a Watson. I got a wish list. As I'm sure do each of you. And, of course, I'd like to find Juju Smith-Schuster and some of our other high-profile rookies. But as a whole, I think we're pulling pretty well in here, in this case. So we're about ready to roll into a big sports weekend. Of course, tomorrow I've got UK basketball playing the in-state rival Louisville Cardinals. That'll be a big one. And about the time that gets wrapped up, we'll be rolling into UK's football game. Our little Music City Bowl down in Tennessee. And then, of course, Sunday, the NFL very wisely decided to have all the games running simultaneously. So they're all either going to be at 1 something or running simultaneously at 4 something. So that way, no one is playing a, quote, meaningless game, right? Because, you know, so many of the wild card games and stuff like that, it depends on what happens around you. You know, maybe you need to win, but you also need somebody else to lose for you to get that wild card or whatever. So in the past, of course, with the times being staggered and whatnot, some of the games, by the time they're played, stuff's already been decided. So there's no urgency to the game. Urgency's not the right word, but you know what I mean. It has less relevance once everything's been decided. So this year they're doing it different, and I applaud that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, although it's going to be hard to keep up with all those games. That's to 99, James Conner for my Steelers. Out for the rest of the year with his knee injury. But I'm sure he will be back next year. I think he's overall going to be a nice contributor to the Steelers lineup. Jonnu Smith to 199 for the Titans. Taywan Taylor, numbered to 50 for the Titans. Pulled a lot of relatively low numbered stuff tonight, so always happy about that. And of course the sweet little 1 of 1 earlier. Never want to look down on a 1 of 1. OBJ, numbered to 149 for the Giants. Marshawn Lattimore to 149 for the Saints. I'm just glad that this year I don't have to worry about the Steelers trying to get a wild card or some other crazy stuff. At least we're just in. We know we're in. And yeah, pretty much we are not going to move. Nothing's going to change. That's to 99 on the Nathan Peterman. Unless somehow or another the Patriots were to lose to the Jets, which, do you really think that's going to happen? Because I do not. Of course, all we had to do was beat the Patriots at home the other day, which we had that flipping game won more than once. This is to 299 Brandon Cooks for the Patriots. And then we could have had home field advantage. But no. Can't manage to pull that game out. So now, the only way we would get home field advantage is if we win and the Patriots lose. I do not think the Patriots are going to lose to the Jets. I don't think anybody else thinks the Patriots are going to lose to the Jets either. So that means we're going to have to be going back to Foxborough, Mass. for the playoffs. Not make me happy. Wanted to play it on Heinz Field. Sweetness. But that's all right. As I say, I should be grateful that we're in. We're not having to worry about wild cards and all that stuff. If home field advantage is our biggest concern, then I guess we're doing all right. Elijah Hood to $2.99. Hopefully we can get AB back for the playoffs. That would be fantastic if we could. And yeah, and then just keep everybody else healthy and hope for the best. So it seems like it's been a while since we've been to the Super Bowl, or since we've won a Super Bowl. I don't remember exactly when the last time is that we won. It's been a few years, though. I'm ready to go back. It would be something if the Jets somehow beat the Patriots. I mean, you know it's not going to happen, but that would be so awesome. I think it's the Jets they're playing. I keep saying the Jets. It might be somebody else, but I think it's the Jets. That would be the sweetest thing ever, though. Of course, more and more keeps coming out about my man James Harrison, who's gone off and signed with the Patriots. That was bad enough. I don't think anybody was feeling good about that, but okay, you know, if you got released, and you had to have a job, then okay, I'll get over it. I'll be happy about it, but I'll live with it. But now, man, have you seen all this stuff that's been coming out? Yeah, so the players are talking about how he hadn't been showing up to practices, and he would go to sleep in meetings and snore, like in the position team meetings, fall asleep, and that he was had been wanting to leave since week 4 or something, and that on weeks when he was inactive, he would just leave the stadium, just go home. And one of those was in Cincinnati. It was an away game, and I guess they made him inactive. And so he gets ticked off and gets a rental car and drives himself back to Pittsburgh instead of staying on the sidelines. And there's all kinds of crazy stuff coming out now from the locker room now that all this has happened. And yeah, so apparently he hasn't been a very good teammate this season, and whew, yeah, it is hitting the fan now. That's to $199 for the Bears. So who knows how that'll go, right? I mean, like, he's going to be out for blood, and goodness knows, James Harrison, if he gets to you, he puts a lick on you. So he's going to be after Ben, who wisely at least has kept his mouth shut about it. But then all of our other linebackers are going to be going for him. That's to 10 on the Golden Tate for the Lions. So that's going to be quite an interesting little playoff game with Mr. James Harrison now being in Foxborough, Mass. Guess he won't be driving home from the stadium if they make him inactive for a game there, because that'd be a little bit of a hike. Pat Mahomes /99 for the Chiefs. Oh, there's another sneeze that just backed up in my head. Whoo-hoo! Those are not fun, decidedly. Oh, that's almost worse than brain freeze that you get from Slurpees and Ices and stuff like that. Ezekiel Elliott /99. Throwback card design. I forget the year that is that original design pattern was used, but 80s maybe, something in the 80s. Old Joe Williams rated rookie refractor went by. Of course, you know, have I been showing you both sides of that? I hope I have. I think normally I do, just out of habit. But those white blank cards, those are just dummy cards or decoy cards, whatever you want to call them. It's to keep the pack feelers from getting all the hits. And so they'll feel it up and think, oh, this pack has a hit, and then they'll buy all the packs that don't have any hits. That's the $299 for the Browns. But they come in handy to use for other stuff, like when you're shipping things, and you can put them in front of and behind cards, just in case there were to be anything unusual happen to the package, then that could absorb the blow. Mitch Trubisky, another nice hit /99 for the Chicago Bears. We hit him last night, too. So counting this box that I'm taking out right now, we have 4 boxes left to get through. So we've gone through 8. This is 9 that's out on the table now. And 10, 11, and 12 are still stacked over there. Whoops, I'm sorry. I kind of hit the... I heard hissing, I'll admit it. And I looked over to see if my little kitten was about to beat someone up or if he was about to be beat up. Because he is crazy. He's an ADD kitten. And he just goes right after the big grown full-size cats. And kind of tries to sumo wrestle them or something. So when that happens, there's usually a lot of hissing. And it could go either way. He could be getting the stuffing knocked out of him, or they could be running away from him, which is what often happens. For some reason, he scares the 2 of them. And he's tiny. And they're huge. But they're somehow scared of him. It's really weird. These are actually bowing up a little bit. Not a huge amount, but they definitely are bowing up some. Of course, it's all just, it's the way they're coated is what causes that. But the Galloping Ghost. Gotta love a little Red Grange. I worked with a guy whose nickname was Red. His name was Jim Grange, but had red hair, so he had the nickname Red Grange. A little D.D. Westbrook Gridiron Kings. I am breaking in Kentucky. Cold, cold, cold Kentucky. Here's our jersey and autograph hit out of this case, numbered 220, Taywan Taylor for the Titans. Nice, did I get the wrong sleeve? Yes, I did. Nice 2-color patch. And, of course, sticker auto. A lot of Optic is sticker auto. There are some on card, but there's a lot of stickers in here, too, especially in the hot boxes. Yeah, cold, cold, cold is just, I want to be in Hawaii. I really do. Maybe not all year round, but right now, in the winter, I would rather be in Hawaii. Jamal Adams, numbered to 99, as we're, of course, in another hot box right at the moment with multiple autograph hits. Derek Barnett to 149 for the Eagles. Carson Wentz, numbered to 199, also for the Eagles. So the Eagles with back-to-back color. Of course, they'd rather probably have that color with an autograph going along with it, but you know, I haven't, this is to 149 on the Cooper Cup for the Rams. 1988 grad, I have not been to Hawaii in December. I think the earliest in the year that I have been in Hawaii was about, it was right before St. Patrick's Day. I don't think I've been there any earlier in the year than that. Of course, I guess this is later in the year, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about like post-autumn and before you get to spring or summer. This is to 299 for the Jags. I.e., I haven't been there in November or December or January or February. Matthew Days for the Browns to 99. Thought about going this year over the holidays, but it's a lot of money. And need to be spending money on other things at the holidays. DeMarcus Walker for the Broncos. And it's hard to get everybody on board, you know, because you can't really go unless the whole family wants to go because it's the holidays. I mean, the extended family, like everybody, and just celebrate Christmas there. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of money for everybody to do that, and nobody wanted to pony up. Oh, you went whale watching. That's cool. Andrew Luck to 99. I always say I'm going to take a whale watching tour. I lived in the LA area for a while, and I have friends that still live there. Shelton Gibson to 99 for the Eagles. And I always say, every year, at that time of year in the spring, I say, I'm going to go on a whale watching tour. I mean, they're all over the place there in California, and you can see some good stuff. Somehow I never get it done. Nice old Davis Webb refractor insert. But I would like to do that somewhere along the way. Did you get good pictures when you were doing it, your whale watching? Oh, you did it from the beach even. Oh, even better. Heck yeah. You don't even have to go out and boat. That's fantastic. I doubt I would get that lucky, though. That seems incredibly lucky. Although, one year, it's been a long time ago now. Gosh, probably, I gotta think about how long. 15 years ago or something. Long time. And I was in the Bahamas with a group of people. We had gone and we were staying at, we were on Grand Bahama Island, and one of my friends had a timeshare. She and her husband weren't using their timeshare that year for wherever they had it. So they traded it to get these rooms down in the Bahamas. So a bunch of us went down there. And we were out on, there was hardly anybody there. So, well, A, most people go to somewhere other than Grand Bahama Island, and B, when they do go, they're not staying at a timeshare property most of the time. So we had a lot of the place to ourselves. And I was just out in the surf one day. I kind of like to play around, body surf and stuff. And so I was out playing in the surf, and some of my friends are up on the beach, and they start kind of yelling, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. You look over and I see all these fins, and I'm like, you know, my first reaction should have been, holy crap, and I should have run for the beach. But I didn't. I saw fins and I thought, oh, dolphins. And so I start going toward the fins, and my friends are yelling and screaming and whatever. And then all of a sudden one of them comes up out of the water, and lo and behold, it was dolphins. A little group of dolphins had come in relatively close. And so they stayed out there and played with me, or I played with them rather, however you want to look at it, for probably 4 or 5 minutes before they swam off. And it was the coolest thing ever. Like, loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So that's my beach story with wild animals. Oh, and you got great, oh, you saw a school of dolphins too. Cool. And you got good pictures. Awesome. I love wildlife pictures. It's so much fun to take them. That is to 149. Some of my friends went on a safari a few years ago. I didn't go. I wasn't, I was friends with some of the people that went, but the main girl she was going for her birthday, and I wasn't really that good of friends with her, so I didn't get invited. Is the long and short of it, but I probably wouldn't have gone anyway, because it was one of those deals where you have to sleep in tents out in the wildlife reserve and stuff. I don't know how down I would have been with that, but point being, one of the other girls who went along on this trip took some pictures, and she went on a safari, right? Like an African safari, and she didn't really take much of a camera beyond kind of like a basic little point and shoot and cell phone camera type deal. But even she got some really good pictures under those circumstances. That's numbered to 50. So I would have been super pumped if I had gone on a safari. I probably would have shot, well, I started to say 5,000 rolls of film. There you go. That tells my age. There's no such thing as a roll of film anymore. I would have probably filled 5 high megabyte memory cards with pictures if I had gone on a safari. Charles Harris to 10. Nice one for the Dolphins. And the Dolphins went inexpensively tonight, so they definitely covered their price of admission there with Charles Harris to 10. Must be in another hot box, because here's Evan Ingram for the Giants, numbered to 75. DeMarco Murray for the Titans to 99. Whoops. 900 Panini Rewards points, which means you know what happened. They replaced one of our hits. But at least they gave us a decent number of points. 900 points is okay. Sometimes they're stupidly low amount of points, like 150, and that sets me off into a tizzy. I don't like getting them ever, but it's better if they come out of a hot box instead of a regular box. That's to 99. So at least we still have hits in the box. And it's also better if they're high point totals instead of 150. So I'm going to try to not do my big freak out. This is to 299 for the Browns. Oh yeah, I love nature and nature photography. It's a lot of fun for me anyway. I know some people it's not their thing, but I've always enjoyed it. I'm going to set that little points card over there to remind me that it has to go to random. 900 is one of the higher ones. I pulled a, was it 1200 or 1500? I don't know. One of those two, 12 or 1500, out of something a couple weeks ago. But most of the time, I'd say the majority of the time, it's those stinky 150 point ones. And like, ugh, nobody wants those. But 900 points, you can sell that probably if you don't want to cash it in yourself. You get a little money for that. Ugh. Sorry about that, guys. That's sliding out of my hand there. You saw a 5,000 point card? Holy cow, I didn't even know they made 5,000 point cards. That is insanity. That would sell for a lot of money. Oh, well, it was in National Treasures. Well, that makes sense. Well, actually, no, it doesn't make sense because they should not be replacing anything in National Treasures with a points card, 5,000 points or not. National Treasures is expensive. So, yeah. But Panini's getting kind of lax on some stuff. You know, like, what was it? Was it, oh, shoot. Not Immaculate. I kept thinking Impeccable, but it was Immaculate, I believe that it was. In baseball, maybe. And they had a sticker auto in one of those. And I'm like, you know what? When you're paying $350, $400 for a box of cards, I really kind of think you shouldn't be putting sticker autos in there. And I definitely think they shouldn't be putting rewards point cards in there. Not in place of a hit, which is how they always do it. They, you know, I think they need to look up the definition of reward, because that would imply something extra. But it's never anything extra when you get it from them. It's always in place of. Yeah, it was Immaculate. Yeah. As I said, I kept going back and forth in my head between Impeccable and Immaculate because I kept thinking Impeccable, but I knew that wasn't right. And I eventually got to Immaculate. What did I owe? I think I only, what did I open? One case of Immaculate Football this year or two? Maybe two. Can't remember. I don't remember as many stickers in Immaculate Football as I saw in Immaculate Baseball. But either way, I was not happy to find any stickers in Immaculate. That, Impeccable, NT, I mean, you just, Flawless, those are brands you should not find stickers in, ever. That was to $50 for the skins. I mean, if they start putting stuff like that in Flawless, it'll just be, like, over. So Flawless is over $2,000 a box. But I think that they've decided they can just get away with doing things that way. That's to $2.99. And some of it they have gotten more creative with, like using the eye black in place of a regular sticker. And that's kind of cool, I'll admit. I don't mind that as much as a regular regular sticker auto. Peyton Manning, the sheriff, numbered to 10 for the Colts. So the eye black is a little more acceptable than some of the other stuff, but as a whole, I don't like the trend of where that's going. I mean, I get that it's less expensive for them, it's easier for them, but they're not passing the savings along to us, and it's creating an unusually long time for redemptions to set out there. This is numbered to 99 on the DeShone Kizer. So if they would just handle it like Topps handles it and witness the signatures and get them all on card, it'd be a lot better. And we wouldn't have had Takkarist McKinley with his little brother signing the first of them, nor Dak Prescott and his auto pen signing Prism last year. TJ Watt to 99 for my Pittsburgh Steelers. So I don't know. I mean, Panini's such a big company with so many brands and the licenses to so many things that I guess it's not feasible to go get it all signed in person. That's to 149 for the Dolphins versus Topps, who's just dealing with baseball. But there's got to be a better way to do it than the way Panini does it now, where you send in a redemption and maybe you get it a year later, maybe you get it 2 years later, maybe you don't get it at all. I've been waiting on an Ezekiel Elliott rookie autograph for a year now. That's to 99 for the Cardinals. Because I don't want to sub it out, because it's Zeke rookie. And I know they've had them at some point, because I've seen other people get theirs fulfilled and sold them months ago, 6-9 months ago, but somehow they've never sent mine. And those are the kind of things that are frustrating. Because you know they've got other Ezekiel Elliott stickers that they've had in since in the 12 months since they have had my redemption sitting there. And they're just putting them on other cards because they're prioritizing other stuff. And then my stuff keeps just getting shoved to the back, shoved to the back, shoved to the back. Oh yeah, I know tweeting, I know to reach out to them on Twitter is the way to go. I mean, I used to have really good luck with that guy, and he would take care of me like right away if I had stuff that had been sitting there for a long time. And of course I was really not very smart probably, and I told everybody that for like 6 months in all my breaks, and of course everybody who'd had stuff sitting for years and whatever all started tweeting the guy. So then the guy stopped kind of doing the one-on-one stuff and started referring everybody to the person at Panini that you have to email them and go through all that stuff, which that person never answers. And I sent them all the stuff I was supposed to send them. And I got a couple of things in the mail today. And they subbed out, like they give you a list, right? Or you're supposed to give them a list of who your favorite players are, who your favorite teams are, if they got to sub something out. So I had some basketball that hadn't hit. Hadn't been redeemed in a long, long time. So I said, swap it out, and, you know, it can be any former UK player. Doesn't have to be a high-profile one, because the cards I had were not very expensive ones that I was swapping out in basketball. And they do it based on value. That's how they determine what they're going to send you as a swap. And I sent them a list, right, of current rookies and older rookies and even people who are still in the league, but like probably not super collectible, that should have been a relatively even swap. So in the mail today, I get 2 cards from Hoops. This is to $2.99 for the Broncos. From this year's Hoops, of 2 players I have never heard of at all, who aren't rookies. And I don't even know who they are. Like, I'm going to have to go look it up. And so out of all that list of people I sent them, they couldn't even send me like a little G League player or something out of my list. So I'm going to be afraid to see what they send me for some football things I asked to swap. Because I got a bunch of impeccable football from last year for Artie Burns and Sean Davis and a lot of last year's Steelers rookies from Impeccable, which again, not a cheap brand. And most of them were numbered to 25 or to 50. C.J. Beathard to 150 for the Niners. So I'm going to hate to see what they send me back for that. So it's like, you know, you could have at least tried to send some of the players I wanted instead of two people, and not even two rookies, which the year that I had mine that never got fulfilled, they were rookies. You could have at least sent me two no-name rookies from this year instead of two no-name whoever they are. This is to 199 on the OBJ for the Giants. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff out there myself, and I sent them a list of a handful of them that I just said, look, if you can't do something with this in the next couple weeks, then you need to swap it out. This is to 149, Big Ben, Steelers. And, I mean, and I even said in the email, please reply to acknowledge that you have received it even. Never replied, never acknowledged it in any way, but then those two little weird random cards show up today. This is to 149 for the Jags. But I think in a lot of ways they've just grown so quickly and they haven't kept up with their back office people. That's what I think. They need to get some additional office people, and then they need to get some people who ride herd, so to speak, on these athletes and get the flippin' stickers sent back. That was to 99 for the Bills. I mean, it's not that hard to sit and sign a bunch of stickers, and they're getting paid to do it on top of that, I think, don't they? I think they do. So, like, yeah, sit there and sign them, people. But what are you going to do? Such is the life of a multi-million-dollar athlete. All right, so we have a little housekeeping to do. First up, we have got, have all these in sleeves? 2 I do and 2 I don't. Let's just get them all in sleeves so I can write on the sleeve in a minute. So first up, we're going to deal with these illusions cards. I think this is the bulk of them. I may have accidentally put 1 or 2 over to the right. But you see this, of course, has a rookie in the foreground and a veteran in the background. And these are the ones that have 2 different teams for our rookie and our veteran. So what we're going to do first is roll on over here to random.org. And I'm going to type in rookie and veteran. And we're going to hit random 3 different times. The first 2 are not going to count. Wherever it ends up after the third one, did I just spell that wrong? I can't even see what I have. No, I guess I didn't. The third one is what will count. So the first one, that doesn't count. Second one doesn't count. This third and final does. You'll see they're randomized 3 times. There's our date and time stamp, and it goes to the rookie position. So let's flip back and take a look at these. And I'm also going to do myself a little favor and circle the rookie position so that I remember when I am sorting it. And remember, guys, that is in the sleeve. Of course, I did not write on your card, but sometimes, you know, there's always somebody who watches it and freaks out and thinks I've written on their card, but I didn't. So this card will go to the Texans. This card will go to the Browns. This one goes to the Texans, and this one to the Browns. How interesting. 2 Texans and 2 Browns. Hadn't really noticed that until just now. Then we have this little piece of happiness. 900 Panini Rewards points, which replaced one of our hits in Hotbox. So I'm going to take you along with me. We're going to cut and paste all of our teams from here into random. Well, it doesn't matter if I took one extra space, I don't guess. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to be a blank spot. And this time, though, we're just going to hit random one time because you know what? There's 32 teams in there. I don't see any reason to do that 3 times. I think we can get an adequate representative sample or random draw or whatever you want to call it by doing it once. So there you can see all the teams did get copied and pasted into there. We're going to go random one time, and our winner is the Washington Redskins. So Redskins are taking home that little bad boy. And again, it's in a sleeve, so I'm writing on the sleeve, not on your thing. And let's recap our hits. And I agree with you, 1988 grad. Topps redemption process did used to be horrible, and it is significantly improved. Correct. It's super easy now, in fact. And when you want something subbed on there, you just go online and check a box and say you're ready to sub it out, and 4 or 5 days later, boom, there's your card. 900 points to the Redskins. C.J. Beathard for the Niners. T.J. Watt for the Steelers. Evan Ingram, Giants. Charles Harris, Dolphins. Shelton Gibson, Eagles. Matthew Days, Browns. Jamal Adams for the Jets. Taywan Taylor to 20 for the Titans with our nice little jersey relic and sticker auto. Mitch Trubisky for the Bears. Taywan Taylor for the Titans. Nice little Mac Hollins low number to 10 for the Eagles. Deonta Foreman for the Texans. Dalvin Cook, Vikings. DeMarcus Walker for the Broncos. Malachi Dupree for the Packers. Chad Kelly for the Broncos. Stacy Coley for the Vikings. Christian McCaffrey, nice low number to 50 for the Panthers. And Curtis Samuel for the Panthers. If you missed me saying it earlier, I hope that this is going to ship out on Saturday. If I don't get it all out on Saturday, it will not go out until Tuesday because, again, there is no mail on Monday since that's New Year's Day. So either Saturday or Tuesday, look for this stuff to get out the door and on the way to you. As always, I thank you very, very much for bidding with me and breaking with me and keeping me occupied and keeping me company in chat. So I hope I will see you again. We got lots of fun stuff coming up, including our new releases tomorrow of Contenders Football and Absolute Basketball. So hopefully it won't be too long, and I'll see you again on another break. In the meantime, stay warm, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.